On today's podcast, we talk about politics and music and what the hell is wrong with the world right now, and even better, what's wrong with these idiot politicians we keep electing who need to sack up and do something about gun violence. So stay tuned.
It would seem as though.
It would seem as though we are back for episode 19.
My God.
Ooh,
That's a
believe
lot.
that.
That's a lot of episodes.
I like it. Welcome to It Would Seem As Though. I am Vesta.
I'm Annika.
And you have come to the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing.
Again, mostly. Nothing.
Yeah, today we're going to talk about something.
Okay, but you say that every time, and then we're tangent after tangent, and then we're all, oh wait, our topic was.
Right.
So who cares?
Listen, tangents are topics.
That's what I'm saying. So we always,
that should be my new,
listen.
I think oh my God, I'm going to like cross-stitch that on a pillow. Tangents are topics.
Bitch, shut up.
You shut up.
I'm going to tag it everywhere. Tangents are topics.
Hashtag. Tangents are topics.
I mean, it is very true. But we always have a topic. Do we ever get to it in its entirety?
We usually get to it. We
touch
get to it
it
at some point. We like will breeze through
then
it.
we're all,
Be like,
hey, topic.
you know, we were going to talk
Bye.
about the meaning of life, but I wanted to talk about shopping instead.
Yeah, let's talk about shopping. Close enough.
You know, because it's important. I do have something I'd like to start out with. Do you know who Rachel Levine is?
Hold on.
She is the U.S. Assistant Secretary of Health.
Yes, okay, yeah. The name was very familiar.
Yeah. Trans woman.
Yes, okay, this is why I know her.
Appointed to the White House by Joe Biden.
Jobin.
USA Today named her one of their 12 Women of the Year.
Oh my God.
I love
Snaps
it.
for her.
And you know, all kinds of folks are just mad as hell.
Well, and especially right now, you know what I mean? Especially right now, there's so much talk of reversing protections for people currently Roe vs. Wade, but then to be like, this trans woman is one of the, you know, top women of the world, of the year.
Yeah.
That's still really, it's important. It should happen all the time.
By the way, I mean, and she's not just any woman.
She's just
okay?
some woman.
I mean, she's a pediatrician. She's a 4-star admiral. She's just all of these amazing things, and appointed to her post by the president. The first openly trans person to be appointed to a position at this level.
That's really awesome. I love that.
But the wrong wing politicians,
Okay.
well, they are not right.
No.
In any way. Are mad because it's like, well, how can she be a woman of the year? She's not a woman. And it's like, yeah, but she is. Pull your head out of your conservative ass.
You're asking a lot. They're still living happily in the I don't even know if that... I almost said the 1950s. I don't even know if it's then. Is it earlier? I think half these Congress people are living happily in time when it was only white men who lived, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I've been really struggling today.
Okay. I wonder if it's the same thing I was thinking
Well, I've
about.
been struggling with the tragedy that just happened yesterday in Texas.
Yeah. Yep.
Mostly what I'm struggling with is this happens now almost daily.
Again.
And, thoughts and prayers. Fuck your thoughts and prayers.
Yep.
They're nothing.
Don't care.
I might as well just say, here's $1, go take care of it.
Yep.
Nothing.
No.
Your thoughts and prayers are bullshit. Your thoughts and prayers are nothing. What you need to do is do some goddamn gun reform. Nobody needs a semi-automatic weapon.
Nope.
Nobody.
Not a single fucking person.
No. And so make some laws, pass some rules, pull your heads, again, out of your collective asses. And this is both sides of the aisle.
Yes.
Because, the people on the left are always saying, well, we're trying to, not hard enough.
No.
You're not doing anything. Everybody is so afraid of, someone's going to go, oh, you're taking my gun away. Who cares?
Well, and this is the biggest issue politically, I feel like, often with people who are liberal or Democrats, is that they focus a lot on civility. They focus a lot on, playing the game how it's meant to be played, when conservatives and right-wingers are just trying to take you out the fucking kneecaps, right? They brought a knife to the street fight, right? They're not playing fair. They're, fighting to win. And Democrats are like, well, and, yes, a lot of progress has come from the Democratic Party and liberals, but that doesn't mean anything when we've been so far behind. Do you know what I mean? We're so back in time with everything that's happening. Like, how was it able to get to this point? And, like, that's depressing to me. You're all politicians for what reason? You serve whom is what I want to know. Nobody but yourselves.
And why do we keep electing them?
Why? That's the thing.
Why? You know, it's like, and you look at other countries. We are the highest gun violence in the world.
Yeah.
Because we have virtually no laws.
We have no laws.
It is like the wild, wild west up in here, and nobody cares. And people are like, well, I have the right to bear arms.
Okay, cool.
All right, well, then get yourself a musket and shut the fuck up.
Right. And that doesn't mean...
Really, if you wanted to go buy a musket, I will buy you one.
Girl.
Get you a musket.
Do you know what? I'm not... Here's the thing. Is, like, I'm not the person who's, like, take away all guns from everyone all the time. Like, I don't... It's not always just, like, guns. I know that is not, like, the problem, right? It is, like, people, yes, but no one needs an assault rifle. No one needs someone who can kill a million things in a second. You know what I mean? Like, if you need a hunting rifle, then go get you... You know what I mean? People hunt. That's fine with me. I don't have an issue. But people aren't taking hunting rifles to go do mass shootings.
No. And if you are going to hunt... then you should still be able to pass a background check.
Yes, and...
You should not have a criminal record.
Growing up...
You should not have any records of assault.
No.
You should also not be mentally ill.
100%.
You know, and if you own these guns, you should pass some kind of course.
Oh, yeah.
And you should have insurance.
Well, a lot of the times, growing up in the country, often, many people, especially younger people, had to take hunter safety course, which is where you had to go through and learn how to do it safely so you're not killing people. Obviously, there's a lot of people who don't, but I think that's the thing is no one is coming at you for your hunting rifle, right? No one's going to melt it down and build a statue of some queer icon. Like, that's not what's happening. You just don't need assault rifles. Girl, because you want to know what? We want to talk about how we're going to we're having any choice, but Roe vs. Wade is going to be repealed. We're going to force people who can have children to have more children, to send them to school to go get shot. Like,
well, that's just it.
That doesn't make any sense.
We care so much about this clump of cells inside your body, but we don't give a shit about that child once it's born.
No.
I'm sorry. You know what? If you care so much about these babies, care about them when they're actually humans.
And, like, but there's no way to get people who are pro-birth, whatever, pro-life. Is that what it is? Pro-life, not pro-birth.
Well, no, it is pro-birth because if they were really pro-life, they would care about life.
Right, but that's like the argument that they somehow can never get past that. Well, I can't adopt, but people can. But, like, you're not helping anything. You're just you're making horrible legislation. You're yelling in the face of people who are trying to do what's right for them. And you're doing literally nothing but being an ugly human. And 9 times out of 10, you guys hide behind the Bible and Christianity, which is obnoxious and obscene. Like, you're hiding behind, like, the God of compassion, like Jesus Christ, like, quote unquote, you know, the God of compassion and empathy. You're gonna hide behind him and then be like, but we hate you. We hate you so much, we're gonna condemn you to hell. Like, who the fuck are you, Susan? You worthless piece of trash. Someone should have aborted you. Sorry. God, I'm angry.
I know. And if you want to go to the Bible for your inspiration, in the Bible it actually says that life starts at birth.
At first breath.
At birth. Not at conception.
Girl.
Because at conception, it is just literally a couple cells.
Yeah. And here's the thing. And do you think God is upset that people are aborting their children? He's like, keep on keeping on. Do you know how many babies God killed? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, all of the firstborn sons of Egypt, child leak. I don't even care. You can't use your Bible and use a deity that literally slaughtered the world over.
If we're even going to get into that mess, come on.
Girl.
I mean, it's like people will go, well, the God of the New Testament, it's a new God?
I know.
So tell me, please, how it is this God who you claim is, one, omnipotent, who is eternal, who is whatever, the God of love, the God of this and that and the other thing, started out an angry, jealous, vain God.
Yeah.
And then somewhere in the middle was like, you know what? I'm going to mellow out.
That sounds problematic.
I just realized that me being mad all the time is not good for my health. And if I'm going to be around for eternity, for God's sakes, I better calm down.
And all the humans were all, you know what? He changed. Like, everyone was just cool with it. Like, throughout history, no one sees the severe dichotomy of this quote unquote God, and they're just like, normal.
Yeah, that's okay.
Regular.
If I was an eternal being, I can't imagine that. Well, you can't say millions of years in because you're eternal. You're always there.
Right.
But just somewhere along the road, you're just going to go, well, somewhere like 2,000 years ago, approximately. You're just going to go, God bless. I realized that I have been doing this all wrong all the time.
So backwards.
So wrong. As you know, I have been reading the Percy Jackson series too.
So have I. Yeah.
Well, and what's interesting to me is that it's all about, the gods and the demigods and the what have you.
Of ancient Greek mythology. Yes.
But none of them are nice.
No.
None of them, I mean, they all have good things. They all have some good qualities. They all have, not all, but most have some things where it's like, oh, this is a great thing. This is a wonderful, this is a terrible thing.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. But they all are good and bad.
Yes.
So, and they're all eternal, and they're all what have you, but that makes more sense to me than this God on high who one day just said,
I'm going to be better.
You know what? I'm right. I
better.
took some therapy.
From whom? No one knows.
I decided to pull a child out of my own body.
Right. Love it.
Like, that's not right out of Greek mythology.
Girl. Well,
and create my own child.
And as you know, like, Greek mythology and folklore is, like, my favorite thing ever to talk about. And that's one thing that I love about most mythologies, where there's like a pantheon of gods, is that they are they're fallible, they're human, right? Like, they are jealous and mean and angry, and they're
vengeful,
and
spiteful.
Right, but they're also like great and happy and loving and care, and like, they show mercy, and like, so they are all the things, and I think that's important. That's the issue I feel a lot of times with like monotheism and with a lot of just organized religion, is you don't allow your deities to fail or to be anything other than perfect. But even the Christian God is not perfect, far from it, right? Like, I think that if there was a pantheon, it would be easier to show more dimension. But they have one God that needs to be all the things.
Well, they have one God who is split into three. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Depending on what you believe, though. Because some people believe they're actually different entities. Some people believe that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, I did not realize that because I grew up in what I like to refer to as a generic Christian church.
Yeah.
And it couldn't have been more generic, let me tell you what.
Sure.
All the white people, all the boring music, all the just like put you to sleep sermons, whatever. But they believed that Jesus, God, and the Holy Spirit were all one, but we're three, and which like doesn't make any kind of sense. But if you compare it to Greek mythology, it does make sense, because you have like the children that were born out of, isn't it Kronos? It was they all came out of his head,
right?
So they were not really birthed of him. They
naturally,
they were thoughts,
sure,
really. And so it's like, I wonder where they got
that
that
idea. I mean, even if we're sticking with Greek mythology, like, what the goddess Athena was born from Zeus's head alone. That's it.
Right. Well, and her children are they're more of an emotional, intellectual thing. She has an intellectual bond with a human and has these children from her brain.
Right.
So same thing.
She's like the goddess of wisdom too.
Yeah.
So that's why. But like, yeah, it's just very interesting.
But it feels very all of religion, all of Christianity, feels very stolen.
Oh yeah,
because it is.
Yeah, right.
But it's like so much of it is like, you didn't even try to change that enough to not make it feel like, I read this mythology book, and this sounds really good, but we're trying to kind of kill those religions. So let's put this into our religion. We'll make it palatable. We'll make it one God. We'll make it our own way, and we'll call you all crazy.
We win. It's called colonization, and they've been doing it forever. Anyway,
wait, colonization is bad?
I know. Well, this is my last thing I have to say about it for now. Is that a lot of times when people want to study religion, like people who are very Christian, very devout, have been their whole lives, then want to go and study it in higher education, often, like, elders in churches will tell them, like, okay, well, don't study the history too much, because often people will study the history and then be like, what the fuck am I doing? Because if you, like, academically or scholarly study the history of Christianity, you get to see how they literally cherry-picked what they wanted from everywhere.
Yeah.
And how it started as some, like, minor cult that grew in popularity. Like, and how there were many people who were claiming to be the Messiah at the time. And it was a commonality. There's a book called Zealot everyone should read. That's how, basically, Jesus just had a better PR team than everyone else. Like, so basically, you can be a Christian, you can know about Christianity, and learn enough of the history to care. But if you learn too much, then somehow your belief just dissipates. Which I think is very telling
Well,
of
yeah,
the
that tells
religion.
you everything you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
If you look too much into
Yeah,
this,
you'll realize.
you'll become an